Alright, now I am here and I will tell you where the name Good Guys Free came from. This all started back in the 1980s. I was a teenager who got introduced to personal computers at the young age of 11. By 12, I was already programming silly stuff, playing computer games on a Commodore 64, trying to convince some of my Apple IIc owner friends that the Commodore 64 was better. I was wrong, I know that. And then one day, this friend of mine tells me that his brother got a device that lets him connect his Commodore 64 to another computer over the phone. He called it a modem. He told me it's because it's both a modulator, mo, and a demodulator, dem, modem. Well, I'm sure if you took a picture of me right there and then, you'd have thought I am an anime character. My eyes were open so wide. I still don't know where his brother got the phone numbers of the first bulletin board systems, or BBSs, but I couldn't shake the name of the very first BBS that I watched him connect to. The name was Unusual Expectations. Back then, things were slow, really slow, painfully slow, let me tell you. That first modem, which I had quickly gotten myself one also, was a 300 baud modem. Now, baud is a weird kind of word. I asked Grok what it means. Baud is a unit of measurement that represents the rate at which data is transmitted in a communication system, specifically the number of signal changes or symbols transmitted per second. It's named after Émile Baudot, a French telegraph engineer who contributed to early telecommunication systems. In simpler terms, baud measures how fast information is sent over a channel, like in modems or serial communication. For example, in early modems, a baud rate of 300 meant 300 symbols per second. If each symbol represents one bit, the baud rate equals the bit rate. So 300 baud equals 300 bits per second. Now, back then, with a 300 baud modem, to transmit an 8-bit byte, you would need to somehow mark the beginning and end of the byte. So you would need 10 bits to transmit a byte. In other words, 300 baud is 30 characters per second. Slow doesn't begin to explain how excruciatingly slow that looks today, when I'm used to blazing fast speeds. Back then, we didn't know better, so it was slow, but it was fine. Then came the age of 1200 baud modems. This is fast! 4 times faster! And the sounds they made? Wow, now you're talking? And in those days, I was looking at doing something else. Something that wouldn't surprise any of you, I guess. I was looking to talk to someone from somewhere else far away from me. I asked my friend's brother, and by the way, both of them are still my friends to this day, more than 40 years after we first met. And this guy told me about another guy who lived not far from us, who had a BBS list. And he said some BBSs actually have 2 lines. So if you connect while another person is connected on the other line, maybe you can chat with them. This is it. This is what I was looking for. I rummaged the BBS list and found this thing. And the second line simply said, line number 2, Good Guys Free. This has had a profound influence on my life. A good influence. And I hope by now, and by extension, a little bit of a good influence on yours. So now you know. Good Guys Free here, and I'll see you again soon.